Welcome back. Well, tonight we are getting a glimpse of a few of the high-profile cases that could come before the U.S. Supreme Court next term. Those cases include some major religious and cultural hot-button issues that could impact everything from the politics to the place of transgender athletes in women's sports. And here to help us break down some of the biggest cases is Brad Jacob, Associate Dean and Professor at Regent University's School of Law. Brad, welcome. Great to see you. So there are a couple of cases that revolve around transgender people and sports. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, there's actually two different cases, Jenna. One is a university level case out in Idaho. This is what they call a transgender woman, so a biological man who identifies as a woman and wants to compete on women's track and cross country teams at Boise State University. This violates Idaho state law, and this individual is claiming that that's a violation of her fundamental rights to compete as a woman in sports. And there's a second case out of West Virginia that involves a 14-year-old biological boy who identifies as a girl who wants to compete on girls' sports teams in middle school. And so both of these are going to go to the Supreme Court, have been accepted already for argument, to decide whether the state may require athletes, whether it's college level, middle school, high school, to compete with their biological sex, or whether males who identify as females can compete against females where they typically have a significant advantage because of the male physiology. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, in the middle school case, the Court of Appeals found that it violated Title IX, which is the federal statute, the part of the Civil Rights Act that protects women in education, that this violated women's rights to not allow the transgender person to compete as a girl in sports. I'm pretty confident that this Supreme Court is going to go the other way on both of these. They're going to say that it is perfectly reasonable for a state to define sports participation based on your biology rather than your psychological understanding of yourself. And that Title IX, which was supposed to protect women's sports, should keep biological men out rather than saying biological men have to be included. So my guess is in both of these, the trans litigants are probably going to lose.
I want to ask you, there's also a push to overturn gay marriage. That's also being rekindled. Kim Davis, the Kentucky clerk jailed for refusing to issue marriage licenses to gay couples, she has formally filed a request asking the court to review its 2015 ruling. What are the chances the justices actually agree to hear this case, Brad?
Well, they may agree to hear the case, and they could indeed find that Ms. Davis has to be allowed to not sign marriage licenses for same-sex couples, that her office would have to have someone else do that if it violates her religious conscience. I think the odds of the Supreme Court overruling Obergefell versus Hodges, which was the case where the court redefined marriage for all 50 states, I think the odds of the court overruling that are very slight.
Yeah.
It's just different from abortion. It's a different issue. Now, the Obergefell case was on no stronger constitutional grounds than Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
The Constitution doesn't protect a right to abortion, and it doesn't protect a right of same-sex couples to marry. Marriage historically has always been a man and a woman. That's what marriage is. And so the Supreme Court forced it to be reconsidered. But it's a very different issue.
Brad, I'm so sorry to cut you off there. We unfortunately are out of time. We could talk for there's so many interesting cases coming before the court, but we appreciate you coming on tonight. We'll have you on again soon. Brad Jacob, Associate Dean and Professor at Regent University School of Law. Brad, thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure.